Hey everyone, it's Kong with my first little bit of coverage for the Summit der Langrisser Season 7. And we are already in the round of 32. This was an abbreviated season, so there was no group stage of round robins. We started right away with the top 64. And Chung advanced to the top 32. He's my guildmate. I like to cover my guildmate's matches. I didn't see his first match from the first round against Leo Smart, but I'm going to be watching through his matches here against Katakuri just to see how he does. So, top 32, Chung versus Katakuri, and this is game 1. It's a best of 3, so whoever wins 2 will take the series and advance into the top 16. So, Chung looks like he's got Hiei in his box, which is interesting. T-Jess, Werner Dime, he does have a Hilda. Other than that, he has a lot of assassins. Katakuri has Elma in the box. We've got Ironblood Commander. We do have a Hilda and a Christiane. Oh, and a Bernhard as well. And Otto, so a couple side tanks, or off tanks. Sissy can be an off tank too, I guess, technically. And yeah, with Elma in there, a few healers as well. 4 healers. Alright, so let's just, we'll blast through this pick ban. Katakuri banning out the Kyra first. Chung getting rid of the Hilda. I guess if you're going to ban a tank with this box, it might as well be Hilda. Hilda kind of shuts down, well, a few of the things in here. And Chung securing his Epsilon first. Katakuri making sure he can't pair that with an IBC, and going with a first pick IBC. That's a nice first pick. Chung, another tank on the second round. So slowly edging Katakuri out of tanks. Which looks like a good play from here because he's getting Lucretia as well, and none of the remaining tanks guard magic. Banning the auto and the burn anyway. Gets Werner Dime so he can accelerate. And Katakuri with 4 healers left right at the end, so Chung gets to pick the 2 healers that he wants to face the least, giving him the choice of Liana and Elma. Goes with Liana. Alright, let's take a quick look at the troop and skill selection, and then we'll kind of let it play out for the most part. Just see how the match goes. So we do have Angels with Shadow Raid here. Epsilon with Gargoyles. It's an interesting pick. So he has the push skill on Himiko. And he's going mix with Heaven Sanction, Reaper, and then Mass Attack on his Lucretia. Katakuri's Lucretia brings Firebrands. Almost the same skill setup, although he's bringing Cleanse as well instead of the Mass Attack. He got Mass Attack on Ironblood Commander instead, which makes sense. And he's going with State Guard on the Werner, which definitely immunizes him against this Werner Dime. Firebrands are a good pick against this, and yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what Chung's play is with these Gargoyles here. I guess it's just to give him a little bit better mobility around the pillars or something. Let's just see how this match plays out. So as spectators, we can't see what mode this Werner has gone into, but he's close enough to his teammates that even if it is defensive stance, currently, it's the counterattack benefits aren't activated. So Epsilon procs a breeze there. And there's a breeze on, what was that, the Lucretia as well? Yeah. Alright, IBC's gonna give the buff to Werner and Lucretia here. So now, Chung, obviously with tons of mobility on Werner. Lots of reach here with the Lucretia. Epsilon, not too bad. But with these IBC buffed units also having a lot of counter reach, there's going to be some tile counting and tile watching going on for both players. Yeah, Katakuri's going to be staying back here. Shuri catches a breeze there. Oh, Himiko's going to go open things up with a 3C on the front two characters here. Lucretia and the puppet. Putting a lot of damage on them. So using Reaper to teleport Himiko back to her teammates. Epsilon's getting himself up into position. Act Again helps clear some debuffs off Lucretia. Oh, and here comes Werner. Takes the first life off Lucretia, but Epsilon counter kills him. So that was a trade of 1 life for the Werner Dime. Shuri's able to rush in here now with a Scepter of Divinity for the extra range there. Pops the shield off Epsilon. Then, not able to kill him with the 3C, does stun him though. Now Chung's Epsilon is going to move in. Oh no! Barely misses the kill on that Iron Blood Commander. Only a couple hundred hit points left. Iron Blood Commander strips Epsilon's shield, and that allows her to kill him. Himiko just getting something done here. Pushes Epsilon into the fog. And he is stunned. Okay, Werner's able to kill that Shuri. And the fogged Epsilon kills himself waking up from the stun. Interesting move, the stun and then the push follow-up. So Himiko pushing again and then clocking it again. She can't teleport away, so this Lucretia is going to pick away at it a little bit. Okay, Himiko goes down to IBC, and it's really just Lucretia soloing almost all of Katakuri's team. And Lucretia bites for the defensive stance Werner there and gets counter-killed, so that's her life. And Chung decides to end that one, figuring that Lucretia's not going to be able to solo the whole team when there's a Werner there who can just stand in defensive stance. Now let's take another quick look at these replacements. So for game 2, Chung is going to be dropping Werner Dime, and he brings up Helena. And Katakuri is dropping the Elma and the Werner, interestingly enough, and the Otto. And he brings up the Archon, who's good on this map. Who else did he bring up? He brought up Elwyn. And is this Helena new? That's obscured by the choose to ban, but I think she's the other person who Katakuri brought up. So Chung ditching Hilda again right away and getting his Epsilon. Katakuri sticking with the first pick IBC. Chung bringing out a tank this time though. It's okay, Katakuri figures he'll get his Guard Ignore in Epsilon. And a healer, securing a healer as well. So this is interesting, with that early pick Hilda, Chung has kind of made the Elwyn pick slightly less valuable, and of course the Archon pick much less valuable. With her displacement immunity, Archon's not really able to take advantage of his Act Again or other benefits from his 3C. Disappointed that we haven't got to see Hiei in play yet. It's very interesting to see Hiei in this box, so I was hoping we'd get to see him in action. But not in Game 1 and not in Game 2. We're getting another 5th pick Himiko here. Oh, and Archon is going to be coming out regardless. Probably a bit more value to the team than another healer. Even against Hilda. So what have we got? Standard Wetham. We've got Templars on the Hilda. Everything else pretty normal. Chung likes the gargoyles. He's got the gargoyles out again, and he brought Accelerated Aid on Epsilon this time instead of his hide ability. Katakuri also not bringing the hide on Epsilon. He brings the other attack skill instead. He's got unicorns on the IBC. Not sure what the unicorns help with. Movement, I guess, on this map. And there's a little bit of unicorn-friendly terrain in the middle. Anything that's not super soggy. Generally, I like Sand Seas on her quite a bit. So, opening with the IBC buff on Cherie and Virash here. Chung kind of deciding to cluster up around his Hilda for now, just to see what Katakuri's going to do. Katakuri is spreading out quite a bit, so it looks like he's going to be exerting pressure in kind of a pincer formation. It does give Chung the opportunity to charge in now with his Watham. Oh, takes advantage of the Shadow Step to be able to reach the back row and take out this Epsilon. That's a good trade. Katakuri's going to be patient, just using the Archon to kill the sword. And now against the weakened Watham. Oh, IBC doesn't secure the kill, though. So this has been a great trade for Chung so far. Yeah, Liana can finish this off, but it does take a couple Katakuri actions, and that is a Watham trade for Epsilon. Now, Cherie is the only method of getting through this Hilda guard. Or obviously using IBC to potentially strip or kill the Hilda. Chung happy just to use Himiko's 3C to weaken up this Cherie, knowing that she's the main guard-ignoring threat now. And Cherie's just going to run back and kind of wait out those debuffs, get healed back up. Chung's able to use the teleport to position his Epsilon a little bit more aggressively. And here he comes. Cherie heals back up to full with Glory of the World, but Epsilon is able to secure that kill. Now we know IBC can strip the shield away with her skill, so if she's using her act again... No, she's not going to do it this turn. Okay, Epsilon's allowed to run away. I think she already used her skill. Yeah, she didn't have it available there. So I think that's probably going to have to be Katakuri's next play, is to somehow get rid of this Epsilon, hoping that it's not being guarded by this Hilda. I mean, right now the Epsilon is susceptible to being pulled because he's far enough away from Hilda that he's not within her anti-displacement aura. But other than that, Katakuri's going to have to get through this somehow as well, so we'll see how that plays out. Alright, Chung just trying to push the Archon far away and also use Himiko to nerf his mobility, but not quite nerfed enough as he charges in, bounces off the Himiko, and he is going for this Epsilon. Oh, he counter-kills himself. He does have a revive. Yeah, Epsilon with that shield up is so bulky. Himiko's gonna bounce back to her tank. Chung easily takes out Archon with his T-Jess. Yeah, and that's it for Katakuri. So a similar situation that Chung was in at the end of Game 1, where it's kind of like one main unit against the rest of the opponent's entire team. So what have we got here? Katakuri dropping the Rosen, so bringing up... who came up this time? Oh, bringing up someone that he dropped in Game 1. Werner, I think. And Chung... The Hiei is out, so I guess that dashes our hopes of seeing Hiei in action. Helena goes back down. Illustrial's up, as it's an Illustrial-friendly map. So yeah, let's just see what happens. Chung is player 2 this time. Chung losing the Hilda. Katakuri doesn't want to deal with that again, as he did in Game 2. So Chung going with a first pick Lucretia here is an interesting departure. He did Epsilon in the first 2 games. Getting Sissy early, so that's going to be his tanking option this time. But that's not going to stop Archon's pulling ability in this match. Katakuri wanted to get rid of that Hilda and get Archon out. An Elwyn versus Elwyn match, so they kind of negate each other's long range. Chung really leaning on this Himiko. 3 games in a row. Himiko, Himiko, Himiko. Relatively late picks, too. And he gets Werner. Now this is a very mobile-looking team from Katakuri. 4 strong, rangy DPS. These 2 can be boosted by IBC. Chung does have some counter mobility here, and he does have a tank that can survive, well, not survive, but at least eat a hit from a couple of these cavalry. Well, this is interesting. Overall, I think Katakuri has a really intimidating team here. It's going to be hard for Chung to close the gap. I see he did bring State Guards on his Werner to help against those horsies. Okay, and we do have Sand Seas on Katakuri's IBC this time. Everything else looking pretty normal. Elwyn with his 3C faction buff. So based on the last couple games, Katakuri probably planning for this game not to last too long. 3-4 turns. Chung going the same way with his Elwyn. He did bring Sealing Technique on Himiko this time. And he also switched to Black Hole and Firebrands on his own Lucretia. What did he bring on Sissy? Okay, Inspire. I always like to check Sissy's. She has so many interesting skill options. Different people like different things. I've seen people who just swear by Dismiss. They love to keep dismissing people. But that, I guess, is a bit more of a late game tactic, and these games haven't been really going that long. Lots of terrain for warfare tactics, so let's see how this game plays out. Katakuri positioning forward right away with Helena. Chung getting set up. I find Himiko always burns a clock on her first initial mobility setup. And then it's not there when you need it later. Okay, Cherie also getting set up with some aggressive positioning in there. I suspect Archon will do the same thing. It gives Chung an opening to open with his Elwyn right away. Not killing the Cherie. So Katakuri's going to be able to take... Oh, he's not even taking that Elwyn. Oh, yes he is. Okay, he's going to try for both lives off the Elwyn with this Helena. He just went way out front to Shiv to give her some more front-facing free mobility tiles for later on in the match. Alright, so Chung actually able to finish that dangling Cherie off with an AoE from Lucretia. Porting her back to safety. Let's say relative safety. Because this stuff can still happen. So Himiko providing another little trampoline jumping off point for Archon to come in, take out that puppet. Alright, and finally Chung's tank arrives to the game. Helena, taking advantage of all those tiles she laid down earlier, races all the way in and kills that Lucretia. Werner not able to secure the kill on that Helena. Archon cleaning up the tank. Oh, Himiko is still in there. I was gonna say, this is looking pretty dangerous for Chung now. So Himiko uses her 3C, putting really heavy hurting on Elwyn and IBC. Elwyn's gonna charge in, heal up, and not quite able to kill that sissy. Was she on... Oh, she was on monks, okay. Half expected her to be on phalanx there. So Sissy goes down, Elwyn goes down, and we've got Himiko and Werner against Helena and IBC. Okay, Helena finally goes down to this Himiko. Is Werner gonna go down here? Yes, yes he is. Those state guards. Alright, we've got a really interesting endgame here. It's only, what, turn 5? Okay, so that's decently deep. And we've got an IBC. She can't buff anyone now. She doesn't have any allies. With these super bulky Sand Seas. Solo against a Himiko. I mean, Himiko does have sealing technique. She is a strong range unit. I mean, we've seen Himiko put out really good damage for Chung. So this is an interesting one-on-one grudge match to end the game. Himiko's going to open by sealing IBC, attempting to. Not able to actually silence her, but it does do the AoE damage anyway. Letting IBC post up on the wall here. Do no damage. Heal herself up with the Gift of Eternal Life. Okay, but she procced silence there with one of the ninjutsu debuffs. No damage again. Ooh, Himiko barely hanging on. Florentia healing back up, but then taking some of that tile damage. How's Himiko gonna survive this? Alright, she's got her teleport hide talent back. Chung's barely in the lead in terms of damage. This is the last turn. And Himiko's 3C's back. Oh, and she blasts her. She doesn't even need, Chung doesn't even need to win on damage. He manages to blast her on the last turn with Himiko's 3C. Oh wow, what a nail-biter of a finish. So two kind of lopsided games to open this match. With Katakuri, I don't want to say relatively easily winning the first match, but at least convincingly winning the first match, having most of his whole team left against just one Chung character. And then a similar thing, the flip side, happening in Game 2, with Chung fairly convincingly winning Game 2. But this one came down to a really interesting, like, mid-battle one-on-one between two unlikely candidates. Very interesting to see Himiko carry that game right to the end. We've definitely seen a lot of Himiko being annoying in various different ways in many different matches, whether it's clocking her 3C over again, or just, like, continuing to hide and not being able to be targeted. Chung taking advantage of some of her interesting little quirks in this game to keep himself safe and just keep himself alive barely long enough to finish off that IBC. So congratulations to Chung for moving on to the Summit der Langrisser Season 8 top 16, and good game, Katakuri. You put up a really good fight against Chung there, and congrats on your finish in the top 32. So that's the first match of my coverage of this tournament. I'll be following Chung's future games, and I'll also take a look at who else is in the brackets as well, and see if there's any other things interesting happening there that I might like to cover as well. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you in the next one. Happy Langrissing.